It's week number 6 of the summer for the Coast to Coast Racing League. Another edition of Monday Night Madness presented by the Osh Weekend Speedway. Sprint cars just around the corner here in Cedar Lake, Wisconsin, which always provides a fun show no matter what. Low groove for the bite, high side for the faster speed. Photo finishes can be likely here. Later on tonight, the GT3s take place at the Red Bull Ring for week number 6 of the Aspire Racing Road Runner season. But we're ready to go for Coast to Coast Racing League action here at Cedar Lake Speedway. So glad you could join us, everyone. Marty Sakala alongside Isaac Salas. As you see, Colin Johnson and Joe Musso chilling. Isaac, Cedar Lake Speedway. It seems like, though, with this new iRacing Dirt update, nothing changes because this track has been known for some really close finishes in the past, and we could see it once again.
Oh yeah, big time. Like you said, you know, I don't think much has changed here. The one thing I think that has a little bit is this 1 and 2 isn't as top dominant anymore. It's actually a lot more multi-grooved, especially when it's slick. Obviously, when it's tacky, I mean, you're gonna chase the tack. But man, when she slicks off, she becomes pretty racy in 1 and 2. And 3 and 4 is, you know, you got so many different lines in 3 and 4. And yeah, man, I'm excited.
Let's take a look at the Rebels coming in right now. The main man leading the points. That is Cody Graham, a 40-point advantage on Jeff Kemper. However, though, Cody Graham doesn't have a win yet this season. Could this be the night where he gets his first win of the year? Obviously, you want to take it for him. But could tonight be his chance to get win one?
There's always a chance, especially in the Rebels, man. Like we always say, that anything can happen in the Rebels. And there's some heavy hitters that truly aren't here, and I think there's a chance for him tonight. I hope so, honestly.
Well, we will see what goes down here this evening at Cedar Lake Speedway, as we are just about ready to go for heat race number 1. And with that, heat race number 1 brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies, quality racing bodies produced by Jan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. 16 drivers make up the car count. We've got 2 heats of 8 this evening. Here's how they look for heat race number 1. Joe Musso and Michael Birthday, last week's winner, make up the front row. Row number 2, teammates out of the Team Watson camp, Brandon Ishkanian next to Colin Johnston. Row number 3, the return of the mayor, Steve Bixler. Next to the 5, driven by John Krupa. He's got an Oswego ride, go Brockport. Row number 4, rounding out the field, G.J. Boydell with the 014. Next to Joe Backus, the Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, number 46. Don't forget as well, later on tonight between the first 2 races, we have a huge announcement around the corner, and it relates to the Knoxville National. So stay tuned when we get back from our intermission between Rebels and Renegades. We will get that to you. But again, 8 drivers, 8 laps. Winner starts on pole position here. It's our first heat race for Monday Night Madness tonight. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Got a lot of you all tuned and checking in already. We'll get those messages in just a bit. Joe Musso drew pill 1. Michael Birthday drew pill 3. We're green for heat 1. Musso gets away with a good stock start, and he and Birthday have checked out. Birthday throws the slider early. Musso counters it back for lap 1, gives the 95 of Michael Birthday. You've got a race for the lead. We're going to go double box immediately here, Isaac, because we've got a race for the lead and a race for 3rd taking place.
Yeah, where do you want me? I'm loving both battles here. That top side's really good in 1 and 2, and that bottom just isn't there yet with 3 and 4.
So Birthday leads. It's Canadian 3rd, Boydell 4th, but this is the best race everybody's watching. That's the race for 5th spot between John Krupa and Steve Bixler. The mayor falls back to 6th as Krupa threw in the slider. Halfway home here in heat race number 1.
Oh, contact between GJ and Brandon.
And that is the race for P3 out there. It's a 1.1 second lead for Birthday over the 63. You see Boydell move up into the 3 position at the moment. 2 laps to go in heat race number 1. Birthday looking to start on pole position, wants a chance at win number 2 on the season. Took the win last week in a phenomenal race that we had, and coming through 3 and 4, the driver of the number 95 Train Wheels Racing ride on pole position tonight. Musso 2nd, Boydell 3rd, Ichkanian 4th, Krupa 5th, Backus 6th, Johnston 7th. Steve Bixler finishes in 8th after, I believe he went into the pits going into the white flag and was involved in something, to say the least. But now we move on to heat race number 2. Heat 2 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical, the second to none heat and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area, where every equipment sale, installation, maintenance service call we make is backed 100% by Langdon. Here's the starting lineup for heat race number 2. On the pole, the Ripper, Lance Ripka, next to the Flying Fry in Kevin Fry. Row number 2, Jeff Kemper in the 181, next to Daniel Blau in the 17. Row 3, Greg Parmalee, he's in car number 4, next to Isaac Salas. Slide Jobs in the 5. And in row number 4, rounding out the field, Gary Offut in the number 94. Next to Soupy, Dan McLaren is in the 88. Alrighty, Isaac, as we get set to go here for heat race number 2, what'd you learn?
The top is fast if you can hit it right, and the slider line is already there in 3 and 4.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Alright, man?
Awesome. Thank you, Marty.
See what he can do here. Winner starts on the outside of row number 1. This determines the outside row and what position they'll be in or what row that they will be in. But it's Ripka and Fry that will bring us to the green flag. Heat 2 is underway. Nice jump for Ripka. Fry holds on to 2nd, Kemper 3rd. Blau and Salas, that's the race for P4. Dan McLaren looks to rip the fence in turns 3 and 4. That doesn't work. Blau had 4th spot the line. Salas throws it in deep off of 2. Can't get the drive off the corner. Blau, oh! How in the world did the 17 not spin? That was even wheel-to-wheel contact that I don't think sent anybody sideways. But Salas through the elbow, he takes away the 4th position. Meanwhile, race for the lead is on. Kevin Fry underneath Lance Ripka for the top spot. Fry loose, but he saves it off turn number 4. On board the 21 of Kevin Fry. Show you how the dash cam looks, about 105 miles an hour into the corner. Quickest driver the last time by was Salas at 12:47. Back up to the front of the field, 3 laps to go in heat race number 2. Ripka, Fry, Salas, Kemper, McLaren, that's the top 5 at the moment. On board the 25 of Ripka, 2 to go in heat race number 2. Everyone just continuing to ride the top. No one wants to take a risk on the bottom. Fry with a higher exit, but may have lost some time as well that last lap. He lost 600ths. Salas tries to close in on this freight train through 3 and 4. Ripka opens up the door for Fry, but it's Lance Ripka that wins heat race number 2. Fry 2nd, Salas 3rd, McLaren 4th, Kemper 5th, Blau 6th, Parmalee 7th. Gary Offut finishes in 8th. Alrighty, heats are already in the books. It's time for the Osh Weekend Speedway warm-up watch. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Knoxville Raceway, they're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars and the Mike Westbrook Memorial for the Knoxville National. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Green, Spangler, green flag, showtime, Knoxville National for green. Join us for the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation. July 31st to August 3rd. 4 days of open 360 Knoxville action using the Knoxville Nationals scoring system. $200 in payouts as well as loads of door prizes. $10 early bird entry by midnight Sunday, July 17th. Then $15 for Coast to Coast members and $20 for non-Coast to Coast members. Max I rating has to be 3,000. All entries open to the first 100 drivers. 100% of registration fees go directly to the Steve King Foundation. All races will be broadcast on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, go to C2CRL.com. It's showtime. Welcome back to the Coast Racing Network. And yes, the Knoxville Nationals coming up in 2 weeks, the biggest race of the year for the Coast to Coast Racing League. And we've got a couple of guys that have signed up already for that. Sign up, go to C2CRL.com. Let's know who you're rooting for in chat and who you've got winning tonight. Hello to Jacob Musso. Says 63 looking to do some track work. That's what we were looking at the top of the show. Jason Butterfield rooting for the Venom drivers. And speaking of Venom, Isaac Salas currently the quickest in the number 5 at a 1260. Knoxville Raceway, not only the home of the Knoxville Nationals beginning on August 1st, or on July 31st, excuse me, but also the home of the Monday Night Madness season finale. Pretty much we've done it for the past few seasons now, past 3 seasons, I believe, and we're looking forward to doing it.
Oh man, who was that just flipped on out of here?
Oh boy. Let's take a look at this. We got 10 seconds to look. What in the hell? That was Daniel, my goodness. Wasn't as good as, I think it was Randy Shreves at Lernerville last week. But it was.
Oh man, insane.
Good. So, alrighty. Moving on here with things, we're set to go for our first feature of the evening. Let's meet the field. Here is your catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the front row, it's Michael Birthday in the 95. Next to the Ripper, Lance Ripka in the 125. Row number 2, Joe Musso in the 63s. Next to the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry's in the 21. Row number 3, G.J. Boydell with the 014. Next to Isaac Salas, Slide Jobs in the 5. Row 4, Brandon Ishkanian in the 19. Next to Soupy, Dan McLaren in the 88. Rounding out the top 10, John Krupa in the Oswego number 5. Next to Jeff Kemper in the 181. Row 6, Joe Backus in car 46. Next to Daniel Blau in the 17. Row number 7, Colin Johnston in the number 13. Next to Greg Parmalee in car number 4. Rounding out the field this evening, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. And Gary Offut in the 94. All right, so we are just about moments away from taking the green flag. Isaac, who's your pick to win?
I wish I could say me, but I'm going to have to go with Birthday on the pole.
All righty, well, we wish you the
Sorry
best
to take your
of luck.
pick, buddy.
Nah, it's all good. It is all good. I'm gonna go with Lance Ripka for the win. We'll see what happens.
All right. Hopefully the announcer's jinx helps me out.
But best of luck in the feature, all right? So 16 drivers ready to duke it out for 30 laps around Cedar Lake Speedway. And we're in for a fun one. We're ready for the Lucy Olson start. Birthday and Ripka set to bring us to green. It's week number 6 of Monday Night Madness. We're glad you could join us. Let's ride. Off of turn number 2, Birthday has the top spot. Ripka on the outside. Joe Musso looks for a chance at position number 2, but it doesn't work. Birthday leads lap number 1. Fry and the 63 of Musso go wing to wing off turn 2, and they touch. Musso's around. First yellow flag is out. And you saw it in real time. Let's take a look at it from the Chapman Racing drone. Let's see, you're off the corner. Ooh, just barely touched. Fry got a little bit squirrely off of turn 2. Just everyone going for the same piece of real estate here. So, tough break for Joe Musso in that Fast Eddie's Hot Rods Main Street Auto Machine. And let's even give you a quick onboard here before we go back to the green. There it was. Luckily, no damage on that 63. But we are one lap to the green flag. And it is a single file restart. Which I'm not too sure why though, but we will go single file here. I'm pretty sure they did count the first lap. So see what happens here. Time for the first mission 22 restart of the day. We're back to green. Birthday hold serve down the back chute. Here's the race for second. Fry and Ripka. The flying Fry with the slider moves to P2. Nice pass for the driver of the number 21. Ripka third, Salas in fourth. Here's the run for Salas underneath. Slide job, Salas. Ripka tries to counter it back, and I think it was Salas in the line for P3. On board with the number 5 as he tries to close it on Kevin Fry. You saw Fry set up the slider line in 3 and 4, closed it a bit. Just set the quickest lap of this race too at a 12.69. So that's a big moment there for Kevin Fry if he can hit that fastest lap. The thing is he wants to make sure he can save his tires here with 30-lap feature. But Salas all over Kevin Fry. You ride on board with a 21. Here goes Salas underneath. Another slide job from Salas. Move him to P2, or did he? Way too close to call with the line. Fry throws the slider. Salas counters it back. It's slide job city here at Cedar Lake Speedway. And Salas sends it in deep. Great move from him for second of the line. Give it to the 5. And now Kevin Fry puts it in. Oh my goodness, that was a slider from hell. But Isaac Salas got out of that grave instantly. And that puts Fry back to third and having to deal with Lance Ripka in that 125 for the third position. So it's Birthday, Salas, Fry, Ripka, and Boydell the top 5 as we go to yellow for Brandon Ishkanian in the number 19. Racing with Bixler here for a position. Caught the wall. And he had no steering. No steering at all in the number 19. Stick it right on board with that Team Watson race setups ride. Again, it's the Team Watson yellow. Caught the wall. As he yanked it to the left, yeah, his steering arm went completely out on him. Ishkanian out of the Virginia's area. The bigger asphalt guys you always have to watch out for. So again, there's your race leader, Birthday in car number 95. How he's doing so far. Double file restart. And Birthday selects the top. He and Salas, row number 1. Fry and Ripka, row 2. Boydell and McLaren, row 3. Blau Kemper, row 4. And Backus off at row 5. This is the Chapman Racing drone. We'll watch as we come back to the green flag. Birthday holds serve. Watch Salas for the lead. Tries to throw the slider. Oh, they touch. Birthday's got to back out of it. Here comes Fry. Everybody scatters. Kevin Fry to the race lead. Off of 4. Can he secure at the line? Yes, he can. Salas back down underneath with another mega slider. Off at 2, he's got it. Here comes Fry again with the counter back into turn number 3. The flying Fry with another slider off at 4. At the line, it's Kevin. Salas decides to hold the low line off at turn number 2. There's a bump by Kevin Fry, and that allows Salas to take the lead, and Fry lost the steering arm. Around he goes in the 21. McLaren is also caught up, and same with the 63 caution waves. A small bump from the 21 of Kevin Fry just destroyed the steering arm. That's a tough break. Isaac slammed the door right in his face and just lost all steering whatsoever. And McLaren had nowhere to go. And Joe Musso tried to duck and weave his way through. Fortunately, could not work. On board with Kevin. Let's go to Dan McLaren. We also had Michael Birthday crash too. We'll get to that in just a moment. You can see here, Dan absolutely nowhere to go. Now, what happened to Birthday in the 95? He moved to the back after the slider from Salas. Did he just lose it? Oh, there was contact with Bixler that sent him around into the infield. Luckily, though, actually, Birthday decided to tow it to the pits, and he is done for the day. So we have a new leader on this restart. It's Isaac Salas who selects the outside. We'll watch again for the Chapman Racing drone as the third team Watson Yellow is in the books. And so Salas holds serve. Here comes Daniel Blau on the outside for the runner-up spot. He takes it away. Gary Offfoot up to second after starting in the 16th position. We're up to the 4th spot, but we go back to the yellow flag, and this will lead to a single file restart. We're hearing it's possibly Kevin Fry and Dan McLaren. If not, Birthday was coming out of the pits. This is what happened. There was some more contact coming back to that green flag. Nope, this was from, I believe, the previous yellow. That was the previous caution. Apologize. We had Lance Rifka, Greg Parmalee, and Dan McLaren. Here's a look what happened coming back to the green. Big stack up from Backus on back. And in turn number 1, Parmalee just clips the 125, and McLaren has absolutely nowhere to go. So, tough break for the Spartan Racing 125 machine. And we are going to go back to the green flag this time with a single file restart. Halfway home, 15 up and 15 down. Salas brings the field back to the green. One on the outside, first one on the bottom is Krupa in the number 5. Boydell decides to go with him and dive in the corner. Entering turn number 3, Kemper scrapes the wall just about 3 wide in turn 3. Boydell really sideways, and here's a run for Backus around the outside upstairs. Gets to the 5 and Krupa puts him in the wall. And loses 2 spots because of it, and Krupa's got steering issues. He may have it rebounded, though. He's back in 9th. Meanwhile, to 2nd, Kemper against Blau. 2 runs that the drivers need here. Remember, coming on in, when you look at the dirt standings, Jeff Kemper, hold the thought, the caution's out for Krupa and McLaren, and the nightmarish day continues for Soupy. Remember, he was fading a lot after he caught that wall. Oh, Ripka Oh, man, nasty wreck. And that represented Oswego in the SUNYAC championship game this year when they played hockey. No offense to any of my Laker friends whatsoever, just saying. It's right on board with Krupa. I was wondering, he is a SUNY Oswego grad. Up on his noggin and cartwheels. Here's the onboard McLaren. See, Ripka got sideways. Bixler was in front of it in a heavy impact between McLaren and Krupa. Look at that left front. It's just destroyed. So, it's double file restart once again. So we'll have 11 to go and likely the final double file restart of this race. Solis and Kemper, that front row. As we come back to put the Team Watson yellow in the books. Another Mission 22 restart. 11 laps remaining. How about Gary Offut in the second position? A bad restart from Daniel Blau. He's back in the 6th spot. The 94 started last. He's running P2 in one of his best appearances in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Backus in 4th. Daniel Blau currently rounds out the top 5. I think the 94 caught the wall and stacked up 3rd on back. Backus in that 4th position. Kemper 3rd, Daniel Blau 5th. They each are 7 spots at the moment. 8 laps to go. Run underneath for Blau on Backus. Up the racetrack, the 17 goes. Now we go to the race for the 3rd position. Backus takes it away from Offut, who's having issues getting that low line to roll. Daniel Blau shuts the door, the 17. Slide jobs Backus for the 3rd spot. 6 laps remaining. Backus tries to counter it back on another slider. Oh, he's sideways on the exit of the 2. And has to back out of it. Now Offut has a chance at 4th spot once again. Look at this smorgasbord off of turn number 4. Meanwhile, Solis with a 2.4 second lead on Jeff Kemper. Backus on the wall. This could get tight off the corner. Musso trying to regain ground after spinning in the first yellow. 3 wide off in turn 4. And Musso looks for 5th. Can't get it done just yet. On board that 46, he clears Musso. And then entering turn number 1. Again, this is the best battle we're watching very closely. Backus up the racetrack. Meanwhile, 2 laps to go for Isaac Solis, and Sly Job is feeling comfortable at the moment. A 2.5 second lead on Jeff Kemper. White flag is out on the last lap. Will be his 3rd win of the season. The driver out of North Dakota makes his way through 3 and 4. The Redham Racing 5 back in victory lane. Solis wins. Kemper 2nd. Blau finishes in the 3rd position. And I bet you we've got a hyped up man in the chat. There he is. Gonna celebrate this one. How about it, Isaac?
I needed that.
3rd win on the year as you watch on board with him. We'll come for another photo here. Kemper 2nd, Daniel Blau 3rd. It's been a while since we've seen Daniel on the podium. And so we will bring your top 3 on in here. And we are set to go. So we'll begin with our 3rd place finisher in the 17 of Daniel Blau. Daniel, it has been forever since we last saw you on this podium. From 12th to 3rd tonight, positives you take away from this effort. Daniel, you got a copy? All right, we will return to Daniel in just a moment. Let's try Kemper, our second place finisher. Jeff, a big second place finish you absolutely needed. No sign of Cody Graham here, so obviously without the drops, that will definitely close in the margin for the points.
Yeah, it was definitely a big night for me. I was fortunate enough a few of those accidents happened up in front of me, collecting quite a few people, and I was able to miss it for the most part. I think I got a light wheel tap, but nothing too much. Then later on in the race, I think I kind of messed up my front end. I got up the back of the rear bumper bar on someone there, and so the car wasn't handling so great. But Isaac was pulling away by a tenth or two, at least on per lap. It sounded like.
How important was it to take advantage of dodging those bullets?
Yeah, it was really important because starting back in 10th place, so that's a good amount of the field to work through, and a lot of good drivers up there. So it was real fortunate for me to get up there early.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
Got to thank my Gambler teammates, Lynn Gear Company, Aiden at Young Gun Creations. Got to thank you, Marty at Slide Job Racing Network, and all the Coast to Coast guys and all the other sponsors for Coast to Coast.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and hopefully we see you in Renegades.
Yep, I'll be there. Have a good one.
You too. All right, let's try Daniel once again, our third place finisher. Daniel, you got a copy?
I do. Can you hear me?
Just barely.
Barely.
You're very
Barely.
echoey.
Yeah, I can hear you guys just fine.
Okay, I'll try to turn you up then here. So anyway, nice third place run. You had chances to get second and first, but a third place finish, I know you'll take it after, as it's been a while since we've seen you on the podium in Rebels.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been forever since I've run Rebels, sprint cars. I mean, they've been doing the NASCAR asphalt stuff. So yeah, I'm very, very shocked. I figured at the 12th place starting spot I would fall back from there, but just kept, throttle management and kept moving up, and I got up to third, then fell back to sixth, and was shocked that I was able to get back up.
You are as well our hard charger of the race tonight. I'll ask this as well, the same question I asked Kemper. A lot of wrecks taking place, a lot of close calls on the restarts. How important was it to take advantage of them?
Super important. And for me, I was having trouble running the bottom, and a couple of those restarts, I had to start down on the bottom, so I had to just keep patient and like I said, throttle management, trying to get out of control. But yeah, it's again, I'm just absolutely shocked that I was able to drive up to the front.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Let's see here. Raceprint.com. My awesome wife for letting me do this. Lance Ripka, he's helping me with setups over on the asphalt side and gave me a setup for tonight. My teammate at Spartan Racing, he's always there for me. So, but yeah, you guys for the broadcast and Coast to Coast for the lead. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Well, great run tonight. Hopefully see you in Renegades.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
You too. Daniel Blauer, third place finisher. Now we go to victory lane. Your winner tonight, Isaac Salas, for the third time this season. Another job well done, man. All came down to that restart against Kevin Fry and trying to remember who else it was.
Birthday?
As well as Birthday, yes.
Yeah, no, I apologize to Birthday. I didn't think that I was going to get all the way in front of him, so I didn't slide all the way up to the wall, so I probably just completely blocked both lanes. And he probably had so much speed that he just had nowhere to go except into the back of me. But yeah, man, other than that those slider battles with Kevin was a blast. Yeah, there's a lot of fun today.
Absolutely. The long run, unbelievable. Did you have your car set up for the long run possibly in this race?
Yeah, I set the car up for the actually the end of the feature. So as the feature started slowly coming and just getting a little bit more slick by the laps, just counting down, I just actually got more and more confident in the car.
Well, what are you expecting for this Renegades feature coming up in a bit?
Well, it's going to be the first time racing them in a while, so I don't really know, to be honest with you. From the broadcast that we've had here as of recent weeks, they've been gnarly. They've been fun to watch. They've been multi-groove. They've been breathtaking at times, to be honest with you, speechless at times, and just going to be happy to be a part of it.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, big shout outs to all those boys over at Venom Racing. I know that I want to say it was Jason's in the chat tonight cheering me on, and cheering me and Dan on. So thank you, buddy. Dean Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, Got Your 6 Racing Network, RSN Trackside with you, sir. Always fun to watch you grow a little bit on Facebook and get the views up. My Grams, Top Notch Trucking, everybody here in Coast to Coast. I would say thank you for the broadcast, but I'm a part of it, so let's go us for the broadcast here. Mission 22, everything that they do for our veterans, and then yeah, just thanks to my friends and family that support the hell out of me.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Congratulations on the win. I'll let you go for now, but you're staying with me in this room. So, well done tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, Isaac's the winner here this evening. Let's pot up the official race results for those of you at home. Solace the winner, Kemper second, Blau third, Backus fourth, Musso fifth, Boydell sixth, off at seventh, Ripka eighth, ninth Bixler, 10th Parmalee, 11th Johnston, 12th Fry, 13th McLaren, 14th Krupa, 15th Birthday. Brandon Ishkanian finished in 16th. Going to step aside here and go to break. When we come back, it's Renegade time here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Oh, yeah, as well, big announcement coming up about the Knoxville National, so stay with us.
Our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. It's your home, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
How about the reverse
for Lucy Olson. She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Renegades are around the corner here at Cedar Lake by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Yeah, alongside Isaac Salas with you. Before we begin tonight's Renegades program, we have some big news to share. Our another special announcement for you. We shared on the Coast to Coast Racing League page last night. Last night that we announced that Monday night for the Knoxville Nationals for qualifying night number 1. That is Kids Night. Night number 2 will feature Ladies Night. That's how the event will be rebranded. It will feature the Mary Calder Memorial, the second annual Mary Calder Memorial for drivers, spouses, and partners. It will be fixed 305 winged sprints, power set at 75%. Promising a night of entertaining racing action. It'll be brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. There will be a 30-minute practice session at 7 o'clock before a 3-minute qualifying session. And then the feature is 15 laps. And Bill Calder has pledged some prize money in honor of Mary. Winner takes home $25, second place $15, third place $10, and we will have it broadcasted on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Isaac, I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. Kids Night on Monday night, where kids, if they want, they can steer the car and have their parent or sibling run the pedals. And then in the Tuesday night action, Ladies Night.
I'm excited for that one, to be honest with you. Man, I'll tell you what, kids nowadays, they get on something like this and they pick it up like pretty quick. And it's kind of crazy. But the ladies, man, we're going to have a variety of ages of ladies. we're gonna probably have some new beef here if we get if some
boy.
ladies take out some other ones. That's what I'm here for. I'm excited for that.
That would be interesting if we had that happen. We know it's not going to happen, but
No,
that would be though very interesting in some sort of way. So, but Renegades getting set to go. Let's talk about them so far at the moment. The two guys that have really branched out of their shell, coming in obviously defending champ Patrick Spangler, but still right now at the moment, Blake Chapman without the drops, he has a 10-point advantage on Patrick Spangler.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've looked at the entry list so far or not, but I'm not seeing Patrick Spangler's name.
That's a good point.
On the entry list.
And we are going to finish up here. So Spangler will not be with us tonight. So 24 drivers make up the count. So we will have a full field this evening of action. 3 heats, 8 drivers each in them. We get set to go for heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 is brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Starting lineup, give us one moment here. We're still on our Rebels project. All right. I think we are good to go now. So, here's how they line up. Jesse Bandy, the Bandy Built Master, starts on pole position. Next to him, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row number 2, 100 grand, Joseph Grandy back with us at the 518. Next to the 77 of Big Money, Dustin Sargent. Row 3, pair of Canadians, Barry Goldner in the 36. Next to the captain, Gary Taylor is in the 34. Rounding out the field, it's Bob DeGood in car number 7. And slide job, Isaac Salas is in car number 5. No call for Dustin Sargent to the grid. So moments away for the beginning of heat race number 1. Isaac, best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
So we've got Isaac on standby. So winner starts on pole position for our 35-lap feature. Jesse Bandy, Randy Shreves make up the front row. Here for the Renegades at Cedar Lake. Flatline Racing Bodies heat race number 1 is underway. Bandy gets the jump off at turn number 2, leaves a lane open for Randy Shreves if he wants it. Bandy decides to then use the middle groove. Shreves second, Grandy and Salas wing to win for the 4th spot. Grandy takes 3rd, Gary Taylor looks for 4th. Lap 1 though is led by the Bandy Built Master and Jesse Bandy. How about the run for the captain and Gary Taylor? But how about the run for Salas underneath that 4th spot? After starting in 8th, Taylor edged him out by a couple thousandths of a second that time by. Taylor a tough 1 and 2, tries to counter back. Salas moves to the 4th position. And now he has his eyes set on the 518 of 100 grand. Works their way. A lot of drivers using the high side for right now. No one wants to take a risk halfway through and run the middle line or the bottom unless they close into someone. It's Bandy, Shreves, Grandy, and Salas. That's the top 4. Well, Salas, he takes a peek downstairs on Grandy. Doesn't work. As high as he can go. Let's watch this race for second. Here goes Grandy. Underneath on Shreves for the 2 spot. Salas wants to become a part of this one too. Shreves taps the wall, hangs on the 2nd spot. Grandy, not that time by the lap beforehand, and his best lap of the day at a 12:34. White flag is out though, 1 lap to go in race number 1. And we'll see what happens here as they make their way down the back. But through 3 and 4, the Bandyville Master, Jesse Bandy starts on pole for the 35-lap feature. Second, Trees. Third, Grandy. Fourth, Solace. Fifth, Gary Taylor. Sixth, Bobby Good. Seventh, Barry Goldner. Eighth, Dustin Sargent. We now move on to heat race number 2. It's brought to you by Lane Mechanical. Here's the starting lineup for the second heat race. On the pole is Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217, coming off a midget win last night. Next to him, last week's winner, a first-time Renegade winner last week at Lernerville, the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson's in car number 42. Row number 2, the Bass Man, Roger Craig in the 747, and next to him, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, he's in the 161. Row number 3, your points leader, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in car number 20, next to the 181 of Jeff Kemper. Rounding out the field in row number 4, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast and Jeff Barker, and the 10 of the Boss and Ross Corinna. Well, Isaac, what'd you think of that first heat?
Fast. Very, very entertaining racing. That high side's super quick. The middle of 3 and 4 is kind of there, but there's so much momentum on that top.
So white flag about to come out. As we're set to take the green flag. Winner starts on the outside of row number 1. 8 cars in this heat. Everybody transfers into the feature here tonight. Heat race number 2 is green at Cedar Lake. Wilson on that high side tries to power off to the lead. Oh, watch out, Blake Chapman in the inside wall. And the points leader will have to start from the back tonight. And it's a hornet's nest for third on back. Terry Landis leading the field in that situation. 3 wide for fourth, Isaac. Corinna moves to the 4th spot.
Yep, right after that, they went 2 by 2. And like I said, that high side momentum is really coming in. Jeff's riding the wall now.
That's Kemper in the 181, but Rogers having some issues in the 747. You think that contact with Chapman messed up his steering?
Probably towed it out a little bit. Huge send by Ross.
Woo! Corinna looks for third. The Desert Demon counters it back. Halfway home, on board with Corinna. Underneath he goes to the 161. Let's see if he throws the slider to turn number 3. Landis tries to counter it back. What a race this is for the 3rd spot with 3 to go here, Isaac.
Yep, and they're kissing the wall a little bit here, ruining their momentum down the backstretch, but here comes Jeff around the high side.
High, wide, and handsome into turn number 1, the 181 to Kemper. Can he get past Landis for 4th? You bet. Meanwhile, 2 laps to go. White flag rather this time by for Tyler Wilson, the 042, looking to start on the front row for the 2nd straight week. A straightaway length lead on Jack Hitt off turn 4. The Macho Man takes the win in heat 2. Hitt 2nd, Corinna 3rd, Kemper 4th, Landis 5th, Barker 6th, Roger Craig 7th. Corinna that last lap set the quickest lap of heat 3 with a 12:29.
Heat 2.
Now we
of heat 2.
Now we move on to heat race number 3, brought to you by Top Notch Trucking out of the Minot, North Dakota area. Road number 1, the 46 of Joe Backus, next to the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Row number 2, it's the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson, next to the 91 of Kyle Sargent. Row 3, the 51 of Shorty, John Short, next to the 30 of Stephen Goldner. Rounding out the field, it's the 63 of Joe Musso and the 88 of Trent Verstraeten. Final heat race this evening for the Renegades. Isaac, what should we expect and who are you watching in this one?
I think the big guy that I'm kind of watching here is Goldner. He's starting a little bit further back towards the center. But man, they've been ripping the lip lately. It's nice to see him back and looking to see what he can do. we go. Going back down the backstretch here before we go green.
Joe Backus and Brandon Templeton will bring us to the green. Winner starts on the inside of row number 2. Going on the green flag, Barney's got in hand. Here we go. Backus immediately outside, 3 wide for the race lead for a second. Templeton backed out of it, and the Pink Panther looks to take that 127 to the front. It's 3 wide for the second position. 4 wide, Golder and Short go around, and Jesse Atkinson leads lap number 1. A wild start to this one, Isaac.
Yeah, and look at Joe Backus running the top here. It's good to see him up front, and Jesse Atkinson's just ripping the bottom here.
Making the bottom work for the first time tonight. Can he get the bite off?
Oh, Kyle's in the wall.
He can and clears. Here comes Templeton to move up to P2. What a race this is. 3 laps complete. Can Templeton get the second spot? They were just about 3 wide for half second. Hang on there,
Whoa.
Templeton is sideways. What a save he makes, and here comes
Jesse. Who was that? Somebody wrecked in the back there.
I think that was Kyle Sargent in that 91, and he is towed into the pits. But look at the run for the 31 of Templeton. Top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Templeton edges out the 127 at the line. A 12:43 last lap, half a second better than Jesse Atkinson, Isaac. That's insane.
Yeah, that's absolutely flying around the outside. And like you'd say, high, wide, and handsome. And that high side's kind of bringing these 3rd and 4th place guys right up to Jesse.
Could the 31 be a possible contender? Won his first ever Renegades race earlier this season at Lucas Oil Speedway. Oh my goodness, Stephen Golder! Eye popping into the picture like it was 3D. But hey, Templeton dodges a bullet and wins the heat.
Wow.
All right, we got a lot of things to watch here. Coming out of that heat race. Holy cow. We'll put you onto the Osh Weekend Speedway warm-up watch. Wait for this to move through. Alrighty, let's have to go back to the iRacing user interface, unfortunately. And let's show you Kyle Sargent. Contact with Musso. They hooked and around he went in turn number 3. And then we gotta find Stephen Gollner in the 30 with the wildest moment of that race coming here. Watch this off of turn 2. Hits a U-turn. Oh, the left front was destroyed. Nothing he could do. A sledgehammer shot into the outside wall. Man, that was heavy. So we'll see what he can do from the rear, and we'll step aside and go to break. Stay with us, the feature coming up next. Knoxville Raceway, they're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars in the Mike Westbrook Memorial for the Knoxville National. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Green, Bangor, green flag, showtime, Knoxville National for green. Join us for the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation. July 31st to August 3rd. 4 days of open 360 Knoxville action using the Knoxville National scoring system. $200 in payouts as well as loads of door prizes. $10 early bird entry by midnight Sunday, July 17th. Then $15 for Coast to Coast members and $20 for non-Coast to Coast members. Max I rating has to be 3,000. All entries open to the first 100 drivers. 100% of registration fees go directly to the Steve King Foundation. All races will be broadcast on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, go to C2CRL.com. It's showtime. And welcome back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We have been seeing some wild rides here in this warm-up, Isaac. A lot of them from Stephen Gollner. I think some of the drivers are just trying to let their frustration vent out before feature time so they can all be relaxed.
I hope that's what it was, because I was watching and there was some absolute wild flips from Steven.
Oh, Blake Chapman in the
Oh,
pits.
Blake.
Did he just have a loud ride?
He tried.
Oh,
he tried to make it in the pits. Headbutt the wall.
Bam. Alrighty. Warm-ups are in the books. And ladies and gentlemen, for the dirt fans watching, let us know who you are rooting for in the chat as we are getting set to go for our 30-lap feature. Let's meet the field. Here is your catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the front row, it's the Bandyville Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49, next to the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson in the 42. Row number 2, the 31 of Brandon Templeton, next to the 56 of Randy Shreve. Row number 3, the 217 of Gentleman Jacket, and next to him, it's the 127 of the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. Row 4, the 518 of 100 Grand, Joseph Grandy, next to the 10 of the Boss, Ross Carino. Row number 5, the 46 of Joe Backus, next to the 5 of Slide Job, Isaac Salas. Row 6, the 181 of Jeff Kemper, and the 88 of Trent Verstraeten. Row 7, the 34 of the Captain, Gary Taylor, next to the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Row 8, it's the 63 of Joe Musso, and the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row 9, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, and the 51 of John Short. Row 10, the 36 of Barry Golner, next to the 747 of the Bassman, Roger Craig. Row 11, it's the 30 of Stephen Golner, next to the 77 of Dustin Big Money Sargent. No call from him to the grid. Row 12, rounding out the grid, is the 20 of the Salesman, Blake Chapman, and the 91 of Kyle Sargent. One lap until we take the green. Isaac, who's your pick to win?
Oh, Tyler, starting on the front row, right where he needs to be. Two in a row.
Alrighty. Give me a first-time winner in Jesse Bandy. We'll see what happens, but best of luck tonight, man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
We'll ride on board with him throughout the night tonight. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done for 35 laps? There's a favorite. Pick it ASAP. We're right at the Olsen start. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Bandy and Wilson, bring us to green. It's showtime at Cedar Lake. Three wide off at turn 2, and it's getting dicey. Back is sideways. He spins into the infield. We stay green for now. Lap 1 up on the board. It's led by Tyler Wilson. How long, though, will we go green for? That, I don't know. A rambunctious start to this feature. Wilson leads, Shreve second, Bandy third. He looks underneath on Shreves for the second spot. Atkinson in 4th, Templeton 5th, Corinna 6th. That's the best race on track. Templeton looks to go 2 for 1. And up to 4th he goes, past Bandy and past Atkinson. He is ripping the top really well, and he's all over that 49 of Bandy. Jesse's got company for that bottom step of the podium. And here's a run underneath for Corinna, who nearly throws the slide job. He's in the 5th spot. He started in 8th. Bandy sends it in to hang on to 3rd. Remember that slider line came in early during the Rebels feature. How much will it come in as Templeton? Oh my goodness! Very little room. Bandy gave him just enough, and he moves into the bottom step of the podium. Back up to 3rd. He fell back early, and now he's up there once again. Meanwhile, Wilson leads 1.2 seconds gap on Randy Shreve. Those wondering, Blake Chapman, the points leader, all the way in turn 2 in the 20th position, up 3 spots. Not the jump he has won. He's going to have to hope for a long run to break out. There's your leader, though, in Tyler Wilson. 3 wide, the center of 3 and 4, Joseph Grandy, back in the 7th position. A wild one as the drivers go down the back. That's Corinna on the outside in 5th with the advantage. Grandy takes 6th spot away. In front of them, Bandy holding up Corinna. On board with the 49 from the back of him. Watch Corinna get a huge run off of 4. Nope, I second that. Bandy had a great exit. Atkinson in for straight in our wing to wing into turn number 3 for 7th. Isaac Salas looks to thread the needle. Let's ride on board with him. Let's double box this. Show you how it looks as he sees Atkinson for straight in race for a position. Remember, Salas does not have the rear view mirror on. He should be aware John Short is right behind him. Grady in 6. We watch Salas and Atkinson. Meanwhile, Wilson a 1.3 second lead, and he approaches lap traffic for the first time in this race. That's Roger Craig in the 23rd position. He's starting to blink just a bit, and now with Craig and Backus side by side for a spot, this could get risky. Backus backs off. He lets Wilson have the top. That allowed Randy Shreves to cut the gap in half. Leaders rip that outside lineup. Corinna looks to try and close it on Bandy once again. A 3-car race meanwhile for the 7th spot. Salas throws the slider in. Oh, first rated short counter back in the 88-51 touch. Short with a mega slider into turn number 2, but keeps it on the middle line, allowing Salas to hang on to 7th. How about the start for Shorty from 18th to 8th? Nice one that he's got going. Meanwhile, Shreves had tougher issues than Wilson did when it came to lap traffic. On the 56, it's now 9/10 back. Templeton closes in. Bandy and Corinna now side by side. This is Corinna's best chance to take away the 4th spot. Oh, sends it in on his teammate. And Bandy let off barely. That allows Grady to take a spot away. He had 5th at the start-finish line. It's a good race all around. It's a battle anywhere in this pack. Bandy takes 5th back from Grandy. 15 laps to go. Randy Shreves and Brandon Templeton for 2nd. Stephen Goldner has crashed it. We stay green for now. Oh, he's off the track. He's out of the ballpark in turn 2. He's going to have to tow that thing. Trying to get it unhooked, and he tows it. Nothing he could do. 13 laps to go. The gap still 9/10 of a second between Wilson and Shreves. Yellow flag is out for the first time in this feature, right in front of the leader, and that is Terry Landis in the 161. And that's before we hit 10 laps to go. So we will go one more time on a double file restart. And now this is where it's going to get interesting. Here's a look at what happened to the Desert Demon. It's got turned off of, oh my goodness, like a boomerang, and Barry Goldner caught up, and Shreves just barely misses that one. Right on board here with Landis. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a wild ride. Now what happened? Let's pull up our TV 1 cam. Stephen Goldner, I want to see this. Through the slider. Caught the rear end and home run. Alrighty, we're doubled up. Coming back to green. Wilson on the outside. 12 laps to go. Look at Corinna, 3 wide on the top shelf. Oh, we got trouble with stack up Bandy Sargent. We've got a Waffle House down the back chute. And that should send us to a single file restart and likely for the rest of this race. So what happened to the 91 of Sargent? All started with a stack up in front. Salas and Bandy got hooked. And And we just started wadding a lot of drivers up. There's Verstraeten, who had a good view of that too. Let's ride on board with him. Ah, that's what happened. Salas hit that Tory tire. One of those Tory tires. And we just had a jam session across turn number 2. So Tyler Wilson, your race leader. But we'll have 10 laps to go. I have a feeling that he's pretty nervous in that race car. He's got Randy Shreves behind him. As we come back to the green. So Wilson holds serve. Watch Corinna in that 10 very closely. Got up on that left rear of Shreves for just a split second. And now Ross with a run underneath. But I don't know if that low side has anything left in it though. After that long run, how much did the track cool though is the question. Templeton contact with Corinna. And the 10 got sideways. Templeton looks to hit back up on the podium. He moves to third. Shreves now tries to close in on the 42. Last week, Tyler Wilson, who catches the wall. Shreves bobbles up. Oh, and Shreves goes around with Templeton. Wilson hangs on to the point. Yellow flag goes out. Oh, man. Randy Shreves saw light at the tunnel. And right when he took it, he was like a baby and a bully took candy away from him. I was about to say, last week Wilson had his first ever Renegades win. Shreves is going for Renegades win number 1. He just clipped that left rear, which sent him sideways. And in front was the 31 of Templeton. Man, that's heartbreaking. Let's ride on board with that 56. Just driving his race, hoping the 42 would make a mistake. He did. Unfortunately, with nowhere to go, Shreves pays the price, takes the quick repair, and goes to the back. Now the question is, let's look at this right side and see how much damage that 42 has. Real quick, Isaac, are you on replay?
No, I'm live.
Oh. Just curious how much damage Wilson has as you're in the pits.
You want me to take a look?
Let's take a brief look at it as we come back to green with 7 to go. Wilson looks okay. I don't know from your end.
I don't know if that right rear is going to be all right, though. Smoked it pretty hard.
We'll have to see as we're back to green. Wilson holds serve for right. Oh, look out at 2. That's Musso, collects Kemper, and Barker barrel rolls it down the back chute. Oh my goodness, side over side, end over end. It's a midget with a front wing. So that takes another lap off the board. Here's how the wreck began with the 181. There was contact, Musso there with hit. Does a wheelie right in front of Kemper, and then bam, collects Jeff Barker. And the Bruton Beast is on for the wildest ride of his life. Thank goodness we don't use gyro cam anymore in these sprint cars. But we will go on board with the Bruton Beast. Bam! And he is just hanging on for dear life. So he goes to the back, and the cautions are just breathing cautions at the moment. Do you feel like if you're Tyler Wilson, he could be nervous here at the moment?
Oh, big time. I'd be hard in my throat, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's a 6-lap shootout to determine who wins this one. Grandy in second. Short rounds out the top 3 after starting from 18th as we're back to the green. Wilson trying to be careful. That high side really slippery now. Jesse Atkinson looks to use it to his advantage for the 4th spot, but Isaac a race for the lead. Grandy tried underneath. It didn't work, and Grandy touches the wall. Short looks for 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh, and he turned him. Short sideways. Great save for the 51. And he falls all the way back to 7th, 8th, maybe more. Dropping like flies. A big race for P2. Here comes the Pink Panther, Isaac.
Yeah, look at who else has joined. All the way from the back, it's Blake Chapman up into the 4th spot.
My goodness. He started from 23rd spot. Oh, and he's on the wall. Grandy put him on the wall. Front bumper damage to the 20. Can he hang on with 3 laps to go? Golder in for straight crash. We go to caution. Not what Tyler Wilson wanted as he built up a 1.1 second advantage. It's not over.
It's never over.
Not
until the fat lady sings.
See what happened. You watch for straight, and ooh, Golden just got in a little bit too deep and caught the 88. And so that is what brings the yellow flag out. Let's ride on board with Trent. There, just a slight contact. Luckily for Trent, ooh, got hit in the rear end. I don't know who that was from. May have been from Jesse Bandy. I remember Bandy was fading back late in that long run and was involved in that stack up with Solace, which is what put him to the rear. But a 2-lap shootout decides who wins this one. Will Tyler Wilson go back-to-back in Renegades, or will Jesse Atkinson or even Joseph Grandy get their first Renegade wins? We're about to find out. A green-white checkered, not in overtime. Here we go. Oh, Atkinson underneath on Wilson, had to back out of it. Wilson with a bad exit off of turn 2. The Pink Panther downstairs. Your race is for the lead off of 4. Atkinson tries to take it to the point. Wilson leads with 1 lap to go. Atkinson not giving up off of turn number 2, but Wilson clears him down the back. Grandy takes 2nd. It's 3 wide and a 3 and 4. Can Wilson take the win? They crash behind him. Wilson wins it. Oh me, oh my. A final lap crash broke out, and it involved Corinna and Chapman. And Chapman, the points leader, finishes in 16th. And not yet, he's going to pull a Ricky Bobby and bring that thing limping across the line in 16th. Oh, man. Isaac, we got to watch that finish again. We'll watch from the white flag. That was fun.
Yeah, that was insane. Jesse was on top of Tyler, basically. And I thought we were seeing a last lap just full-blown sends of a slider.
Wilson led it at the white flag. Now, I believe, in my opinion, if there's no contact there between Grandy and Atkinson, Atkinson has a much better chance to win it. And, oh, there you see it right there. Corinna sent it in too much on Blake Chapman, which is what sent them both around. We had more contact between Barker and Craig, and, oh, Gary Taylor, oh, my goodness. Not going to look pretty at the Salty Dogs home later tonight. Let's get another look at that. Let's rewind the footage. Get you another good idea on what happened going into turns 3 and 4. Corinna just set it up a little bit too much. I don't think he expected either Blake Chapman to come down like that. But the top 3 have posed for a photo. Let's talk with them. Let's begin with Joseph Grandy. Joseph, it's good to see you once again, man. Man, walk us through that final lap.
Honestly, I thought I had the faster car, but some things happened in the last few laps that made it for interesting race.
Do you feel like all those yellows kind of, those cautions bring cautiously in the race, do you think that hindered your chances to get up to the front?
No, not really. It was just people were racing hard, and I didn't mean to run into the back of whoever that was. I just came out of the turn, and he was going way slower than I expected. But is what it is. I'll take a third.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Catalytic Recovery, West End Tone Repair. Appreciate you, Marty, for broadcasting coast to coast. All their sponsors, all the guys behind the scenes, and my girlfriend Olivia.
Alrighty. We'll let you go. Great job tonight. Good to see you back.
Thanks.
All right, that's Grandy, our third place finisher. Finishing in P2 tonight, Jesse Atkinson. Jesse, you almost had it, man. Do you feel like if there wasn't any contact between you and Joseph Grandy going down the back, that you had a good chance to possibly set up the slide job?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It might have had a chance, but you always have those what ifs. Like, what if we didn't hit him? What if we did? But I'm back in the broadcast booth, so there's no complaining about that.
Absolutely. You are back in the broadcast booth with a second place finish, your second podium on the season as well. How do you take that moving forward? It definitely helps you on the point standings too.
It's even more of a confidence boost compared to Port Royal. We've I don't even know. I don't even have the words. It's just crazy. I'm barely adjusting these sets. I'm making them tight and basically just save the first half of the race and then just punch on through the field, and it seems to be working for us so far. So we'll see how it goes. I feel definitely a lot more competitive than I have in previous seasons, so it's always nice.
Absolutely. Alrighty, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and who do you want to give shout outs to as well?
I got to thank my team, Ager Esports. We have a lot of NASCAR guys over there, so they taught me how to tire save a little bit with this new model. Got to thank Four Cloak Media as always, JR Racing. Got to thank you guys for broadcasting these races. Got to thank Coast to Coast for putting on these races. All the admins always have a really great time here, and yeah.
Alrighty, sounds good. All right, man, great job tonight. Congrats.
Thank you.
Jesse Hickson out second place finisher. Time to go to Extreme eSpeed TV Victory Lane. Your winner tonight, the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson. Tyler, those final laps were not easy.
No, that car was hot garbage about the last 6 or 7 laps. Most of the time I dread cautions coming out. I was pretty thankful for those last couple.
Would you say it's garbage because of going into turn 1 when you made contact with the wall? We thought you were done when you hit the wall, and then Randy Shreves got to the inside. Then he got a little bit sideways.
I also thought I was done. I freaking hate that for Randy. He ran awesome all night, and then because of my bonehead mess up getting into one, it kind of cost him his whole night. So I definitely want to send a big whoops and sorry to him. Honestly, I was just talking a little bit with the guys in the Discord. Kind of like I mentioned last week, I'm starting to attempt to build my own sets, and I think I had the back end so low to the ground that moving the wing back made it undrivable. I don't know if I was bottoming out the left rear or what exactly I had going on. I don't know enough quite yet, but I had to finish the race at like a 2 on the wing, so I was just trying to nurse it those last 7 or 8 laps and just hope that I could hold it in there. And I kind of didn't. Jesse helped me with a little bump on the last restart there to kind of get me across the finish line.
So I know you came into tonight 100 points back without the drops, but what a start that this Training Wheels racing team has had as a whole on Renegades competition. What can you say about the work you and Spangler have been putting up?
It's definitely everybody. Me and Patrick here lately have been getting the results to kind of show for it. But I mean, Michael and Brandon have both put in the work too. I've just had luck the last couple of weeks with getting good heat draws, starting on the outside of the front row. Patrick's just good no matter what he drives. You could put him out here in a shopping cart, he'd probably figure it out. But man, yeah, it has been a heck of a start to the season. From no Renegades wins at all to back-to-back leading almost every single lap here. So luck's definitely been going my way. And yeah, I think with this new build, I kind of talked about there was a race last season where somebody had mentioned if we kind of have a rivalry with either Bandy or KSR, and I said we weren't quite there yet. That they kind of had 3 or 4 guys that could be on the podium every week, and I think maybe we're there, or we're at least very close.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, you for the broadcast as usual. Roger for putting this league on. All the guys over at Training Wheels. I don't think any of them were in this race except me tonight, so it was a tough battle to hold down. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations. A great win for you. Enjoy this one, your second win, and it's back-to-back.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Tyler Wilson, your winner tonight in Renegades competition. A great performance by him. So that being said, let's pull up your results from this evening. Tyler Wilson, the winner. Second, Jesse Atkinson. Third, Joseph Grandy. Fourth, Kyle Sargent. Fifth, John Short. Sixth, Bob DeGood. Seventh, Jack Hitt. Eighth, Randy Shreves. Ninth, Trent Verstraeten. 10th, Terry Landis. 11th, Jesse Bandy. 12th, Jeff Barker. 13th, Ross Corina. The drivers that finished on the lead lap. How is Blake Chapman considered a lap down and finishes in the 14th spot? He technically finished the race, so I don't know what's going on there in that end. Backus 15th. Had that great long run as well to begin the race. I think it was like 24 or 25 laps long, but that was a fun one. Here's a look at 21st through 24th. Stephen Goldner flipping out of the ballpark. Salas got stacked up there with Jesse Bandy. Dustin Sargent did not start the race. So with that being said, we got one more race left to go. It's the GT3s at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Are you listening? Are you missing me like I'm missing you? This just can't be true. Did you have to leave so soon?
When Steve died, the outpouring of love across the country was amazing. We realized we were in a position that no racing family wants to be in. The good that was that these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation is important to me. It keeps Steve present in what we all do and what we all love, and that's racing.
My favorite memory of Steve was just how nice of a guy he was and how genuine he was.
I'm just sure that Steve would be very honored and thankful for the foundation and how it's honoring his name and all the good that the foundation does.
You go to a racetrack on Saturday, nobody expects to come out of there hurt. Unfortunately, sometimes it does happen. And thankfully we got people like the King family and everybody that's involved with the Steve King Foundation to help these families.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the Stephen King Foundation reached out to me and told me that they had a check. I was absolutely floored. I just thought that they did this for drivers or crew members that got injured. You know, racing, they always say racing's like a big family.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash, found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything